Dana Gould in studio.
Hello.
Dana's a very funny comedian, stand-up, co-executive producer of The Simpsons, which Damashek announced, even though he didn't know you were coming on the show, was a stellar example of one of the Simpson episodes last night.
Dynamite last night, yeah. Was that fun with Ricky Gervais writing it?
He was great. He was
Office?
great. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was funny. He came in like a pro. Had a notebook.
Wow.
And a pen. Had 2 pens.
Wow.
2 pens.
Yeah, came in like a pro. And I got a handout to the animators who did a really great job. That character really looked like him.
Yeah, it did.
His expressions were him. And they don't, when people talk about The Simpsons, they're always, the writing. Animators do an amazing job on that show.
Definitely.
Well, it's a good point. Everyone focuses on the writing, and they should, but animating is its own art form as well. And yeah, folks don't get
such
credit
a difference
for that.
from the first season, obviously.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
In fact, the show almost didn't get on the air because the first episode came back and it was unshowable.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And when you say came back from overseas?
Well, it took, it takes basically 9 months from script to completion. And
Right.
we have what's called the color, which is the final take of it. And this was before the show premiered, years before I showed up.
Right.
But they had a big screening of the episode, and it was just silence.
Yeah.
And then finally, Wally Wolodarski, one of the writers at the time, just went, "Show it again!"
Wow.
It was just,
The wall man stepping up.
and David Silverman was one of the big honchos there now, actually took it off, reanimated it, and saved the show because the network was ready to pull the plug on it.
Gee, working as an executive in Hollywood. Dana, you want to talk a little Planet of the Apes?
Yes, I was called by an official from your show to come on and talk about an ambassador of your show to come in and talk about the new multi-DVD release of every Planet of the Apes related experience on DVD, and it comes in an ape head.
Yes.
And I don't think it's a sign of a decadent culture.
No.
That we are now selling DVDs in fake monkey heads.
I would also...
Isn't that something from Caligula's Rome? They started giving away DVDs in the skulls of animals.
Yes, the end...
They made a horse a senator.
The end was near. Yeah. I would also say it sends a confusing message to poachers.
Exactly.
Very mixed.
Don't kill animals. If you do, we have a use for them.
That's right. Yes, poachers and the Japanese. They both send a confusing message to them. Yes. Well, you have nothing to do with the Planet of the Apes,
I have
right?
no official capacity whatsoever, but Mike, who works at the show, I've known for years, knows that I'm a creepily exuberant fan of the series.
Yeah.
Shameful.
Bet you that's good for a metric ton of tail every year.
If you don't get laid with the line, I have all 5 Planet of the Apes films on DVD.
Yeah.
You're not trying. In fact, I would like to say...
Hold on, Naomi, get off it. Get off it.
Yeah.
She's just using it as an example.
Done.
When you buy this Ape Head DVD collection, I can't say on the radio what will happen to you, but it rhymes with Bavalanche of Bussy. That's all I'm going to say.
Took me a while to do the math on that one, but it sounds good. Yeah. Yeah, I was watching the original. Well, first off, there's a few things. Heston is great. Not only he's just Heston. He's
amazing.
He's a blowhard. He's an actor. He's essentially wearing a chamois the entire first episode, the first installment, Planet of the Apes. But there's a lot of weird biblical sort of end of days kind of references that you didn't really pick up when you were 11 and watching it in the theater. There's a lot of weird biblical stuff. Also, what a bummer Heston is in the first one, because they travel ahead in time and they land on a planet. They think they're on another planet, not Earth, and blah, blah, blah.
What?
And he's explaining to his fellow mates who flew along in the spaceship that everything they've known has turned to dust.
I know exactly.
I love that line.
He looks at the other astronaut and says, "Your loved ones are dead and forgotten for 20 centuries." It's like, wait a minute. You're the captain of the mission. You are also responsible for morale.
Right. And they're like,
you should have a ukulele. I bet there's a swimming pool over the next hill. What do you say, Captain
funny.
Kirk never did that.
Yeah,
I hope the Klingons kill us. We deserve to die. alive.
It's true. He's like, the other guys are like, we need to find some shelter and clean water. He's like, everything you've known is turned to dust. That's fine. Can we bivouac here for the night?
Yeah.
The biggest bummer in the world, and I guess he's an atheist, or he's not, or he's yelling at the other people about the Bible. It's really weird. There's a lot of symbolism.
It is I really love that first movie, and it's but when you watch it when you're older, it's a real movie.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it was written by Rod Serling, who's a genius, and directed by this guy Franklin Schaffner, who made Patton after that. I mean, it's a real movie.
And the other thing too is a lot of stuff doesn't hold up, especially the science fiction stuff doesn't really hold up, special effects and that kind of stuff, especially in the 60s. I think the first one was made in the late 68 or something like that.
The first one's pretty timeless.
The effects, and there's not a lot of effects. I mean, it's all makeup and prosthetics and things like that, but this stuff looks great.
Yeah,
I mean,
it could have come out. It could have come out today. What's weird is the more sequels they made, they had less money to make them, and they got more dated. So yeah, it's like, by the third or fourth one where they'd gone back in time and it was current, it's like, it's the year 2075, but everybody still has mutton chops and bell bottoms.
Right.
Everybody looks like Engelbert Humperdinck, but it's the future.
Dave Damashek and I were talking about movies, and they always give you a little glimpse of what the future is going to be, how life is going to be in the future, and there's certain things they don't have in the future, like there's no denim in the future. It's the year 2031. Everyone's wearing gray jumpsuits.
Exactly.
There's no jeans anymore, even though the jeans have been around since the gold mining days.
Yeah.
Somehow they've been pushed into obsolescence in the last 12 years. But there's no hinges on doors anymore. They're all apertures, or they slide. But we were talking.
I've seen the future, and it's velour.
It's not only that. There's no hemming and hawing in the future. There's no dudes and what ifs. Like, people go, it has been handed down from one generation to the next, therefore it is and it will be. No one ever says kind of. Or like, I think so, but I'm not sure. Hey, don't quote me on it.
And people from other cultures will innately refer to things from your culture. I've been waiting here over 3 of your Earth hours. Right. Why would you say that? That's not in your vernacular at all.
The other thing that also isn't in the future is no deciding what to eat. That's been predetermined, but no one's ever going, well, what do you want to go for?
Mexican tonight?
I did that for lunch.
Thai?
Keep talking.
No one else some chicken masala.
Oh, that sounds delightful.
Yes.
Or use the chutney mango, or there's no food talk in the future.
If it was Star Trek, it would be Jay Leno's famous rule of Star Trek 3, which is, we can have Mexican, we can have Thai, or Danubian burgers that just came in.
Right.
2 things you know and the one from the future.
Yeah.
That's Jay Leno's joke. I give credit where credit is due.
Yeah. And
it sounds as though we inadvertently also stole.
Well, I guess so, yeah.
We're all thieves.
But again, no bros or dudes or cousins. Yeah. There's none of that talk. Everyone speaks as if they're reading from a scroll. Everything must be an announcement in the future. No hemming and hawing. All right, we're going to take ourselves a little break.